Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. Today's video is an extremely important one. It's how to eat your way to healthy skin. We have with us Samriddhi Goyal. Thank you, Samriddhi, for joining me today and having this conversation. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Rashi. So happy to be here.
So before we get started, I'd like to quickly introduce Samriddhi. Samriddhi is a well-renowned nutritionist and a fitness expert who's been in the industry for 20 years, and she's best known for her customized designer diets that cater to every sort of lifestyle. So Samriddhi's goal mantra is a good diet should build you and not break you, and she firmly belongs to the anti-starvation brigade. So thank you so much once again for taking the time out and speaking to us. I'm just going to get started with the questions. And my first question to you is, how is nutrition linked to healthy skin?
I would say that nutrition, your diet, what you eat on a daily basis is the most important, and it is the basis for your healthy skin. Now, when I'm saying diet, I don't mean you have to be on a low calorie or a starvation plan, but rather include all the right kind of foods which support good skin.
Absolutely.
So,
So while you include good foods, could you tell us what the good foods are and the bad foods are?
Sure. So first of all, most importantly, above everything is hydration. If your skin is going to be hydrated only if you're going to drink enough amount of water and other liquids. So make sure you have at least 2 liters of water every day, and include liquids such as your nariyal pani, that is your coconut water, your green tea, chas or buttermilk, whatever you like, whether you like it salty or slightly sweeter. But make sure you include these liquids in your daily plan. So, your fluid intake can go up to even 2.5 liters, provided you don't have any health conditions in which you have to restrict these. So first of all, as I said, hydration. Next come your nutrients. Because of the current scenario worldwide, because of the coronavirus, you know how important taking antioxidants in your diet is. Now, these same antioxidants, which boost your immunity, that is your vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, are also great for boosting the health of your skin and for giving you a glowing complexion. So when we talk about vitamin A is what repairs your skin. Vitamin A is what is present in those retinol medicines which you apply when you get a pimple. So why not include it, on a daily basis in your diet, so that the vitamin A from inside your body can also nourish your skin. So this vitamin A you will get from your yellow and orange fruits as well as vegetables, simply put. So everything that is yellow and orange color is great for your skin, be it mangoes, be it your papaya, be it your tomatoes, be it your oranges or carrots, all of these. So these are very easy to find as well, and they're very easy to include also on a daily basis. Vitamin C rich fruits and vegetables, again, are the same, the yellow and orange fruits and vegetables. And besides boosting your immunity, like, vitamin C has become so famous in the last 1 year for boosting your immunity, it is great for your skin. So make sure that you're including fruits and vegetables which give you a good supply of both of these. Apart from the vitamins, next comes your omega-3 fatty acids, which are the good fatty acids. You will get these from your nuts, like your walnuts and almonds. You'll get these from your seeds, like your flax seeds. You'll get omega-3s from your fatty fish if you're a non-vegetarian and if you're a fish eater. So make sure that you include salmon, mackerel, these kind of fish in your diet at least 2 to 3 times in a week. So this is also going to help to keep your skin healthy. It's going to help to keep your skin moist, supple, and wrinkle-free as well.
Absolutely. Doctor, what would the bad foods be? Do you think sugar is a bad food? Should we include sugar in our diet? Should we keep it under control? What do you think about that?
So, as you introduced me that I'm belong to the anti-starvation brigade. I don't believe in going off any food permanently, because if you eat everything in moderation and in limits, it's not going to be harmful to you. So yes, you can include sugar in your diet in moderate quantities. About 2 to 3 teaspoons a day of sugar is allowable. And I mean sugar, I don't mean all the sugar substitutes like your jaggery and honey. If you're including those, then of course you will do away with the regular sugar. But yes, there are various foods which can aggravate a bad skin condition, an already existing bad skin condition. If you have too much sugar in your diet in the form of sweets and chocolates, yes, chocolate is a big culprit for bad skin. So this is going to raise your blood glucose levels, because obviously foods which are loaded with sugar have a very high glycemic index, and food which has a high glycemic index is going to keep your blood glucose levels raised all the time. So make sure that you eat lesser of these kind of foods, eat lesser of junk foods, eat lesser oily and greasy foods, because you don't want your pores to get clogged. Once your pores are clogged, obviously it is that much easier for your body, to produce all those pimples and get all that acne. So these are the kind of foods you must avoid. Too many sugary drinks, junk food, fried food, high salt foods. When you eat too much of salt, it makes you all puffy and bloated. And of course, that's what shows, in the bags under your eyes. So keep that in mind. One more thing, Rashi, that I want to talk about is maskne or mask acne.
Right.
We're all wearing masks or most of the time, especially, whenever we are stepping out. So for many hours together. And a lot of people, they might not be getting acne because of the mask, but they're getting, irritation, redness, bumpy skin.
Like a rash.
So that is something that, yeah, like a rash. Every time you remove your mask, if you've worn it for about 2 to 3 hours, you find that your skin has gone all red. Right. So that is something that you can take care of very, very easily. First of all, try to wear masks, which are, of course, comfortable and not irritating to your skin. Secondly, apply a moisturizer, a mild one, which doesn't make you sweat all the more because of the mask, because that moisturizer will be like a barrier, between the skin and the mask. And wash your masks regularly. Don't repeat the same one again and again. Try and use a clean mask every time. If you're wearing it if you're wearing it for many hours in a day, it's okay after 2 or 3 hours to just change your mask.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned that about acne and your nutrition is closely linked. What do you think people can do? Do you have people coming to you complaining about acne because of their diet?
Yes, definitely. And I do diets specific to acne as well. There are people who consult me just for that. Like they are seeing a skin specialist and, doing all the whatever the specialist is suggesting to them, or whatever skin treatments they need to take. But I always find at the end of the day, if your diet is going to be improved, then obviously everything is going to get better. Apart from diet, of course, you must exercise on a regular basis also for healthy skin, because it just gets your blood circulating, it gets your toxins out of the body. And there can be a huge difference in people with acne if they start following a healthy eating plan.
Right. So I think what you eat is what your skin is as well. So it's very, very important to eat the right food.
Of course. Filters are great, but good skin is better.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. My next question to you is, what are the important vitamins that we're supposed to take in our diet for healthy skin? You mentioned vitamin C already. Are there any other nutrients that you think we should take?
See, according to me, if you're following a healthy, balanced diet, then it takes care of all the nutrients that you actually need. So, I don't believe that, it is a thing of that just take your vitamin E and vitamin C and ignore the rest and you don't need anything else. No, it is meant to be in a balance. Make sure that, you follow a healthy eating plan, a balanced eating plan all the time. Don't skip meals, eat meals on a regular basis. And it will benefit, of course, your weight, your body, everything, and it will keep your skin glowing as well.
All right. So eating a good balanced diet is extremely important. Make sure that you're including everything that she mentioned for you to have a good, healthy skin. Doctor, everyone's spoken a lot about greens and incorporating greens into our diet. Some people are not very fond of greens. So do you have any tips on how they could incorporate it into their diet?
Yes, so there are plenty of fussy eaters of all ages, believe me, who, will still come to me and tell me that, listen, why have you given me spinach and why have you given me methi and it smells and it doesn't taste good, it's bitter. So I really believe that any vegetable, first of all, you have to understand that these vegetables are great for you, for your health overall. Once you get that into your head, you will find a way, to work around it and make it in a way which is appealing to you. You may not like spinach as a vegetable, but you can put it in your rotis, in the atta. You could put it in your idlis. You could include it in your salads. So there are various ways that not just spinach, many of these vegetables, you can include them. So you mask the taste. If you find the taste very offensive, you're masking it by adding other flavors to it, other attas to it. So it is very, very easily doable. I am not of the thought process that you should be having vegetable juices, especially in the rainy season. I think they're highly avoidable. The only vegetable juices that I recommend to anybody are, things with peels. So ABC is the juice I usually recommend. That is your apple, beetroot, carrot, because you can peel the outer layer and then blenderize it and have it. So that has lesser chances of giving you a tummy upset. So cooked vegetables in various forms as a sabzi, add it to your rotis, add it to your idlis, add it in your sandwiches. Those are the ways that you could include it.
Absolutely. So yeah, like she said, include your vegetables in some form because it's extremely important. You need that intake for you to kind of just, not even with the glowing healthy skin, just generally for your body to function properly. And for everyone who's having vegetable juices in the monsoons, please avoid it because it can cause a tummy upset. Doctor,
have it as a soup. I forgot to mention, have it as a soup. Okay, so this is a perfect weather to have a nice hot cup of soup in the evenings. And one more thing which will motivate people who are haters of vegetables, the more vegetable servings that you have during the day, if you up your vegetable servings maybe from 3 to even 5, you'll actually slim down as far as your waistline is concerned.
Right. I think that's something that's going to motivate everybody. Everybody wants to lose a few inches. No harm in losing a few inches. So yeah, everyone's vegetable intake is definitely increasing now. Talking about losing a few inches, like you mentioned, all these sugary foods and all, people of my age, somebody who's in their 20s, or maybe somebody who's even older, we have a lot of cravings. Like if we're working or if we're studying in the middle of the night, we're like, oh, I want junk food. I want something sugary. I want caffeine. How do we curb those cravings?
Simply put, I feel that you have to eat more so that you don't get cravings. So don't stay hungry. What happens with most of us is that we keep such long gaps in our meals and we skip meals. You've eaten breakfast, you've eaten like a minuscule lunch, and then you've straight away eaten a proper meal at dinner. That's when the cravings start. The reason why cravings kick in is your body's way of telling you your sugar levels are going to drop. They are going to go low. So you're actually going into an emergency mode. So that is when your brain starts telling you and starts attracting you towards sugar. That it's calling for more sugar. Why? Simply because it has to level your blood glucose. So don't allow yourself to reach a point where your blood glucose has dropped. Eat regular meals throughout the day. And yes, if you do crave your sweet stuff and you're studying late into the night and you're craving caffeine, limit your consumption. Keep healthier choices handy. Like, you get so many of these millet bars and oat bars and stuff like that. Keep these things handy because they are tasty and they are healthier options as compared to having a large bar of chocolate. These healthy bars and stuff, they will actually keep you going longer. They will keep you alert longer. Snack on dry fruits, snack on nuts, seeds, these kind of things. So if you have a plan and if you're prepared, that, okay, these are the snacking options and these are the healthier choices, and you keep them handy, then I'm sure you won't be reaching out for junk that often.
I think this is advice that I'm definitely going to follow, and everybody else who has those cravings is definitely going to follow it. My last question to you is, do you have any general tips that you could give us?
Regarding weight loss or regarding skin?
I think both would be really helpful because of the situation we are in. Weight loss because not everybody has a lot of movement, and skin because they're always indoors, and I think people may not be taking as much care of their skin because they're eating all the junk all the time nowadays. So I think both
very true.
Would be helpful.
So my first tip would be to stress less, because stress is what messes up your goals. And stress is what stands in the way of you making better choices because you constantly feel the need for comfort. and you feel that, oh, I'm so stressed out, I think I should just eat that bar of chocolate or call for a tub of ice cream, and it's just today, and that today becomes a month, and you gain weight and you've got acne, and you're not looking great and you're not feeling great anymore. So stress less, drink plenty of water. Even sipping warm water throughout the day helps you to curb your appetite. Maintain a food diary. That really helps. If you write what you eat on a daily basis with timings, it will really help you to get an insight into the kind of food you eat. It will give you an insight into what you feel also throughout the day, that, okay, I was feeling low, and that is when, I picked up the candy bar, which I was not supposed to eat. And next time I'll go for an apple instead. So this is something that you can just do for yourself, and it will work really well. And as I said, healthy, balanced meals. I don't believe in starvation at all. Eat fixed meal timings, have a routine, and of course, sleep. Most important. Lesser dark circles, lesser bag under the eyes, and you'll feel great through the day. You'll concentrate better on your studies.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for these tips and all the information that you've given us. It was wonderful having you here. I'm looking forward to having many more conversations like this with you in the future. Thank you once again for taking the time out and speaking to me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rashi. I hope to see you personally the next time rather than do a Zoom conversation.
Absolutely.
It was wonderful being here.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
wonderful
hope soon as well. And yeah, we will definitely connect and have many more conversations like this.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.